Back now with more politics. Today is county-to-county kickoff day for NBC News. We're spotlighting a handful of counties from coast to coast. Voters in these areas will give us a sense of what to expect in the 2022 midterm elections and beyond. Dasha Burns and Ellison Barber are in red counties talking to folks about Trump's hold on the GOP.
We're in Chattooga County, Georgia.
This is New York-style pizza, strictly.
Steve Pledger brought a slice of the big city with his pizza shop here.
I love to go to Manhattan.
But the one thing he could do without? Liberal politics.
Today's world, I'm a Republican.
The kind of voter Republicans are counting on to take back Congress. Steve voted twice for President Trump. A recent NBC News poll showing 77% of GOP voters have a positive view of the former president. Just 12% view him negatively.
How strong is the Trump train here?
It's strong. It's strong.
In 2016, then President Trump won this deeply evangelical county with 78% of the vote. In 2020, it climbed to 80%.
My faith, it influences the way that I vote. It really does. If a Republican come out and said that they were pro-choice, he's off my list. He gone.
The GOP is red hot in areas like this, but to win, they also have to keep new Republicans in places like Luzerne County, Pennsylvania. Dasha Burns is there. A lot has changed here since Barack Obama sat on this very stool in 2008. Luzerne County had elected Democrats since 1988, but that all changed in 2016 when Trump won here by double digits.
We used the excavator either.
Norb Dotzel's family has been working Luzerne County soil for decades. He says Democrats lost this blue-collar county because they're focused on the wrong issues.
Diesel fuel prices are through the roof, and they're not stopping. You can't get truck tires. Even though I hate to raise my prices, I have to.
Dan Titus drives trucks for Norb. He says he felt abandoned by the Democratic Party.
I don't really think they're standing for the people. I'm a registered Democrat, but I did vote Republican for President Trump. He didn't tolerate no bull.
If the signs are any indication, Trump's support here has not wavered much. How much do you think he's going to influence what happens?
I think big time. Yeah, I think he's going to be a big influence.
Then there's Delaware County, Ohio, where Trump's lead narrowed in 2020 and where we met Tom Fortunato. He has Parkinson's and says the push to scrap Obamacare and its protections for pre-existing conditions pushed him away from the GOP.
That would have been a tragedy for a lot of people.
The politics of the last 4 years has made a lot of people rethink their party.
This is Melanie Farkas. She's a Democrat running for local office here, but she thinks she has a shot because of some of the changes in this county. Donald Trump won Delaware County by 16 points in 2016, but that margin narrowed to just 7 points in 2020. The midterms now a test for the party and its voters.
I'm going to monitor the 2022 and see what the reaction is and how far they've distanced themselves from President Trump.
But with many Republicans hoping for Mr. Trump to make a comeback, could the GOP bounce back without him?
All right, Dasha and Ellison join us now live. Dasha, you know, Delaware County there in Ohio, it used to be a longtime GOP stronghold, but the margins have narrowed in the past few years. What can we expect in the coming year?
Well, Tom, for the voters we've been talking to, they say that depends on the direction that the Republican Party takes over the course of the next year. And look, Delaware County, it is not going blue anytime soon. But the question here is, will the margins in the midterms look more like they have in the past, where Republican candidates were winning by double digits, or will they look more like they did in 2020 when those margins narrowed? We talked to the GOP chair here, and he is confident going into the midterms. He says that some of those Republicans that may have shied away from Trump will come back into the fold because of what's happening under the Biden administration. He points to things like rising gas prices, to inflation, to the withdrawal from Afghanistan, and says that's going to bring some of those lost Republicans home. But we also have seen Democrats trying to capitalize on some of the changes here. Not only those moderate Republicans, Tom, but also this is one of the fastest growing counties in Ohio. The population has just exploded here, and a lot of that has come from more liberal and more urban Columbus, and Democrats are looking to make gains in that way here too, Tom.
Okay, Dasha, thank you for that. And Ellison, Chattooga County, Georgia. It's gotten redder and redder every year. The population there, though, has declined in recent years. But how's voter turnout going to look when Donald Trump is not on the ballot?
Yeah, it's interesting because as the population declined here, when Trump was on the ballot, voter turnout went up. It is a weird kind of complicated thing because when we talk to voters here, people who identify as Republican or who say they typically vote Republican, they tell us that they really don't trust the election process. Remember, Donald Trump has spent a lot of time sowing doubt about the election process, and he's specifically gone after Republican officials in this state. People here, they've paid attention to that, and they say they do not necessarily trust the election process, but they still say they plan to vote in the midterms. And there are really two key reasons for that. One, people here, they genuinely believe that this country is moving in a direction towards socialism, to communism, and they're worried about that. They don't like that. They see COVID restrictions as infringing on their freedoms. The other big issue that will drive them to the polls, abortion. This is a deeply religious area. They are evangelical voters here. And for many people, Tom, that is not just an issue, it is the issue. Tom?
All right, Ellison and Dasha for us tonight. We appreciate that reporting. Thank you.